And now we're back from outer space. Welcome to WeTaku Anime Review, a weekly podcast in which some friends, because one of us didn't show up, come together and talk about anime. It's kind of been a while. We've been dead. I think you guys, any longtime watchers of the show, know that sometimes we just drop off the face of the earth. Oops. But we are back. My name is Jovan. I'll be one of your hosts. I prefer shonen, but we'll see. And with me are two of my three regular co-hosts. Introduce yourselves.
Hey, I'm Thomas, and I'm in a new place with bad lighting, and I don't know how to fix that.
So wait, where are you?
Just a new apartment.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you. Steven can't probably make it for the next couple months.
We'll try to our best to find people to replace him, but today we didn't.
We will probably. Well, my goal is that we will be using a lot of guests. Anyway, Allan.
Hi, I'm
or
Allan.
The next mysterious person.
Yeah, I still don't have a face after all this time.
Why
I'm really
will you not just buy a webcam?
I'm really
Mine was
concerned
like
that this
$6.
hard drive might not have no space for this. Actually, I'm gonna work on that while we're doing this.
Delete like 6 songs and you'll be good.
Or like an earlier podcast.
Yeah, that's why. No, it should be fine. It should be fine. It should be fine.
Alright, fingers crossed that you guys will actually be able to see this eventually, but whatever. If anything fails, we can just upload the Twitch VOD. So, today, we're back to talk about the reason this podcast exists. This podcast started so that we could get each other to watch shit that we didn't want to watch. Allan got his comeuppance, or not comeuppance, his joy, his happiness, whatever. Allan won when we watched Love Live. Today is Thomas's victory. Eureka 7. Thomas, tell us what we're watching, or what we watched.
Alright, so, boy finds robot, loves girl, robot and girl become one robot, and he loves robot girl. It's a show about like a planet that has surfing robots, and
they surf in the sky.
Yeah, sky surfing robots. And it's a kid who joins a rebel group thinking that they're just like some surfers that he can hang out with all the time, and it takes until like episode 18, spoilers, where he's like, oh my god, I'm killing people?
Yeah, so he's in a rebel group against the government.
With guns.
Been, like,
they have guns.
With guns, and those mechs, like the surfing mechs, fight each other. Like, they kill each other.
He's not a...
It takes him a while to...
He's not a bright boy.
You know, he's an idiot.
So, your cast is... Eureka.
She's a little better than Ray.
Deku Midori, I don't know. Renton.
Renton's not great.
We have Guy from Guilty Crown. Holland.
I like Holland.
I have these prepared.
I haven't seen Guilty Crown though, so I can't compare.
Honestly, Holland is a deeper character than Guy, but I think I liked Guy better. Anywho. Yeah, so those are your main three for sure. You also have characters like Talho, Holland's girlfriend, who like is Holland's moral compass that he just thoroughly ignores at all times. You have, I guess, remind me what the Nervosh, the Nirvash, the robot that Eureka and Renton fly. You have a guy named Dominic. I guess he sometimes shows up. None of the other side characters matter.
Dominic is like the whole point of him. They don't really flesh him out until the second season. He's Renton's foil.
Yeah,
like the reason he exists. He looks just like Renton. He acts like Renton. He's almost as stupid as Renton, and it's pretty apparent.
This is a low threshold.
I'm just gonna warn everyone. It's been about 2 months since I've watched this. My
It
memory's
has
not that
been
great.
a day. I am fresh.
It's been a couple months for me as well.
Well, all right, then I guess my memories will oversee anything you guys do, except maybe not, because we'll see. So, that's the basic synopsis. Let's talk about things we can talk about in the spoiler-free section, such as openings. We got 2 of them in this stretch, and I'm going to say that the second one was a lot better.
It's by
I didn't hate the first one.
it's by flow, like Code
But I love
Geass.
Flow.
Yeah, exactly. It's by flow. It's amazing.
I didn't hate the first one, but the second one was fantastic.
The moment I heard it, I had to look it up.
Yeah, the first one became a chore after like the first 2 episodes, whereas the second one I was just like, let's gonna watch some Eureka 7. That really summed up my first 12 episodes versus my second 12 episode experience.
I mean, the first 12 episodes are a bit of a chore on their own.
Yeah.
You definitely need to kind of
Hang
force
in there.
yourself to watch it. I mean, like, it's not like it's a bad show, but it's really just like a show that you kind of just
Do
you
you
can
like
just glaze
90s
over.
shonen gags all the time?
yeah, like you don't have to pay attention
Yeah.
really.
I mean, you should probably pay attention to some of them. Like, what are waves? How do every acronym in that show? From
Yeah.
KLF to LMC to I have a
LFO.
list of LFO to FAC to
Yeah, they
I think
do.
that's actually it.
Look, sci-fi needs these things, man.
It's
So-
important. If I can keep up what's happening in a regular conversation, then they failed as a sci-fi.
So, while we're on the topic of sound, how do you guys feel about the background music?
I don't remember.
Um,
I'm not gonna even lie. I don't remember it. Like,
Having watched yesterday, it felt very Eva.
There were some for me that I like. Some songs would come on and be like, "Oh, this song again." Like they used a lot of the same songs. I feel poorly in the first like 6 episodes, but after that, I think it progressively got better.
It did.
And then there's one song called "Story Writer" that comes again and again and again throughout the show, and every time, it does not fail to get me pumped up. I don't know how to explain it to you, but it just like slowly gets more and more intense, and it's got drums. But I mean, what song doesn't have drums? Anyway,
I get what you're saying. But
yeah,
like,
what
I don't know, for me a lot of the tracks felt very like Evangelion in like just dramatic moment. Here's your dramatic, like slightly generic music that matches it, but it's like mech music. Like this show, more than most shows that happened, like feels like a product of its time. And that's weird because it's from 2006, but it feels like I'm watching a 90s anime. Like, if you told me 1998, I'd be like, yeah. No, that feels right.
well, the early 2000s had like a lot of shows that came out that were kind of like this, where they would follow a fairly boring protagonist, like in some weird world, just like exploring.
Yeah, I mean, no, I just feel like the music really felt like it was almost a pandering soundtrack. In that, like, if you've seen other popular shows, go. Here's the same soundtrack, but we changed it a bit. Like, I was not drawn in by it. I don't remember the one song you're thinking of, actually. I mean, if I played it, I'm sure I'd recognize it. But none of them stood out to me as, like, my goodness. That said, though, speaking of sound design, there's one other thing. Allan, how did you watch the show, subbed or dubbed?
I think I watched it subbed.
I figured you might. So I watched it dubbed. Tom?
I watched it dubbed. This is the second time I've watched it. So I watched it originally dubbed because I couldn't find it in a sub. Oh no, it was on Netflix. So yeah, they just had to dub as far as I remember, and I liked it. I love the dub.
Allan, how do you feel about the sub?
I think it was fine. I think it was serviceable. I didn't really expect anything different from
Better,
what it
yeah.
ended up being.
Fair enough, especially because voice acting is like one of the things that got way better really fast in anime, I feel. But, so, my dub experience was honestly fine. It definitely fell on some of the older, like, oh, I'm voice acting for an anime cliches that like some of the older series. Like some of the lines didn't come out quite right. Anything Renton said, I just kind of had to be like, you directly translated this, and that feels wrong.
Yeah, he
But-
didn't do a great job in this show. I felt. Who was it? It was
Actually,
Johnny
no.
Young Bosch.
Was it?
Hmm.
No.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
think so. That's who played the main character from Cookie Geass, right?
Johnny
Is that the right-
Bosch.
He does a lot of
yeah,
stuff.
I think.
Right.
Yeah. It's not
Yeah.
Johnny
Anyway,
Bosch.
that,
1 sec. All right, keep talking. I'm the
but
internet
I
will tell me
think
everything I need to
Crispin
know.
Freeman really stole the show. The guy who voiced Holland, he definitely did the best part.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
anytime he spoke, I was like, "Damn, yeah!" Like,
I feel like the
Oh, you're right.
names
It's Johnny Young
translated.
Bosch.
I feel like the names translated like decently well too, just because they're not just straight
Yeah.
Japanese.
yeah, no,
Yeah, so-
I think they were trying to be Western names.
Yeah, Johnny Young Bosch was Vash the Stampede and Trigun. That's what I thought. Yeah, but he was Renton here. You're right. Yeah, the translations are fine. I think they translated too literally, though. To be honest, I think like a lot of Renton's lines specifically stood out to me as just you kind of tilt your head and like that. None of that sounded natural. I know that like I'm supposed to sympathize with you, bud, but like it just didn't sound right.
Yeah, he would have some off lines. I do remember that, but I just chalked it up to poor writing on their part and like poor translating, poor writing. I guess
Yeah.
that's
No,
pretty
yeah.
similar. You have to
Yeah,
have like some creativity as a translator still if you're writing for a show, you know.
It's the Dragon Ball Z versus Dragon Ball Kai debate, where Kai keeps the literal translations and Z doesn't. But Z, honestly, I enjoy a lot more because Kai is trying too hard to stay true to the material, to the point where it just kind of breaks the material.
Been too long since I've seen either, so I don't really remember.
I can fix that problem for you, friend.
Did they see voice actors?
For the most part, Android 18 was changed, and that was not popular. And now we have the original 18 back for Super because I cannot stand Android 18's new voice. Gohan was changed as a kid, and that's not okay for me because the voice got like a lot higher and less like Dad. But I loved Dad Gohan. Other than that, though, for the most part, voices stayed the same. I think those are the only two of note that changed.
Was the 18's Krillin's wife, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Spoiler warning. Jeez, man, come on.
Oh, come on. Like, it's been... It came out, what, 1992?
How dare you?
Anyway,
It's been 20
Anywho,
years, man.
fine. Yeah, I think the dub was fine. I think it fell into like some of the things where like if I was watching Sonic X or Yu-Gi-Oh and they'd said the same lines, I'd be like, yeah, that feels right. But for the most part, I think the dub was like fine.
all
I
right.
think Eureka was actually played well. I think that there should be props for that. No, listen,
She got better as it went on.
correct. But like Eureka is half Ray and half an actual human being. And like
You'll find out she's a little bit less, but okay.
I mean, in terms of personality, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, no, I just felt
She's
like throwing out a spoiler.
she's half Ayanami clone, and half. We're still in the spoiler-free section. Get out of here.
I know.
She's half Ayanami clone and half like actual character. And I think that her voice actress actually straddled the line like decently well for what she was given, which is almost an impossible task. At least in the dub. Alan, how was she in the sub? More Ayanami or less Ayanami?
Oh man, this is where my poor memory comes into place.
Uh,
But I don't remember, or I don't like from memory. I don't think that I particularly thought of her like too emotionless. So I'd say less.
props, I guess. Not a robot. All right, I'll take it.
I'm trying to remember shows that like did this sort of character well in American voicing, English voice acting. I
Okay,
can't think
that's
of
I
one
don't
right
think
now,
you
to be
can.
honest.
Nope.
I haven't watched, honestly,
All
many
they do is
anime
just whisper.
dubbed.
Literally, all they do is whisper.
Yeah.
Android 20 though. That's kind of...
No.
Huh?
Not even close. And I think. you're
Oh yeah,
thinking-
no, he was all over the top, like happy, right?
Yeah, and 20 was an over-the-top asshole. 19 was a clown robot, so it doesn't count either.
Sorry, I was thinking 19.
I had a feeling. No, 19 was like... I think 19's voice actor changes in Kai too. But no, 19 was like more high-pitched than one would expect, actually. It felt like a robot, but it was a robot, but like an actual robot. So, I'm not pulling points away from 19 for that one. God, I hate that trope. Rei Ayanami, you ruined everything.
Yeah, no, it's definitely pretty annoying now. I'm a little over it as well.
And I'll get more into that when we get into the spoiler section, which I cannot wait to get into. But, last things last, animation.
Pretty good. It's
good.
got its own art style.
The aspect ratio is lower, but like, it's older, so yeah.
Back when it expected to come out on a CRT.
Yeah, no, it was fine.
Actual movement was pretty good. Colors aren't as colorful as they are nowadays, but like.
Do you like green and yellow?
For the time, they're pretty vibrant.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
They had a lot of blue too.
Yeah, it was a very like spring palette, but it was fun.
Pretty good.
It looked good.
Very bold, pretty saturated, but like not too bad. And then the lighting was a little strange at times, especially in the dark. I don't know. Well, actually, they're like pretty hit and miss with the dark. So like Holland's room, they like got pretty down. Like that's pretty solid, but like the cave, like kind of like hurt to look at.
Yeah,
you know?
The cave was a thing. It wasn't.
I do actually.
It did not enjoy that. Yeah. All right. So with all that in mind, I want to get into the spoiler section. Anybody have anything else to say before that?
I liked it.
Right, we do that bit. I firmly in the middle.
I think I liked it, and it'll continue to get better. Haven't seen the rest.
I think
of
it'll
it,
continue to get better.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna judge right now and say firmly right there. So, with all that in mind, we're about to jump into the spoiler section. If what we said has made you want to watch it, then go, leave. You can pause this video. Come back to us later. It'll be lovely. Once you've seen the thing. Or, stick with us anyways. Listen to us talk about it. You don't need to watch a show, you have us. We're the best. Either way, spoilers will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to spoilers! As always, first question, who was best girl? If anybody says Eureka, I will just hang up the call.
No, it was, Geez, what's his name? God, it's been too long. Give me a sec.
Right.
Go to the
comic relief in, like, as a whole.
What do you mean the comic relief as a whole? Who is that? So are you talking like Moondoggy, or?
As a whole.
Allan, I need a definition.
I don't even remember their names, like... Just...
Which one's the comic relief to you?
I don't remember. All I remember is that I was amused by, like, a lot of the side characters.
I'm gonna guess it's Moondoggy.
Best girl, without a doubt, was Charles.
Wrong.
Charles is such a good... Maybe he, like, really blossoms later on in the show, but, like, I love him. He's so cool. He's
Charles
like...
is weird. He just kind of showed up and was like, I'm gonna be your daddy now.
Yeah.
That's like most of my experience with Charles this far.
Yeah, honestly, it was a bit fast, but I think they were just trying to fit a lot in. They really should have cut out a few of the prior episodes and just spent more time with Charles and Ava.
We needed at least... no, Ray.
Ray, yeah.
But R-A-Y this time.
Yeah. And
I keep things prepared on my left screen.
And yeah, no, I like them a lot, and they continue to get better throughout the show. But I really wish they just cut the fat off and really developed that more, because they like made this whole, like, I think he was supposed to be gone for 2 months or something, and
he was gone for an episode and maybe a half.
Yeah, they put it in very few
I think 3 episodes actually, 3 episodes. But yeah, he knew like Ray and Charles for like an episode and a half, and then just leaves, and it's like, all right, great.
Yeah, but it's like 2 months. Everyone's like
Yeah.
freaking out about it.
Nope.
Like how long he's been gone.
It's like 5 minutes. It's like an hour. Yeah, I think for me, I'm actually gonna give it to Talho, who is like selfish, manipulative, rude, but also the realest character in the entire goddamn ship. She's the only one who has a brain.
Yeah,
It's just her. Everyone else is like, wow, I would really like to do this thing, but Holland's word is law. Time to not be a decent human being ever because he told us not to.
Like Guy.
And then, yeah, like Guy. I know.
well, based off of so like based off how you see her, she looks like she's just gonna be like this feminine, what do you call it? Like objectifiable figure, and she's got like a spine, and she will like
She's
stick up
the
for whatever
only
she feels like.
one with a
doing.
spine. Nobody in this show. Holland is the leader, and Holland doesn't have a spine.
Holland's best friend, though, I think he what's his name? He reminds me of Walker. What's his name?
I know who you're talking about. I forgot his name. Let me find the list.
Yeah. He. I think like he'll stand up for things too, and I think he's a pretty good character, but he just didn't have enough lines.
Yeah, I mean, like, mostly it was Talho, though. I'm not going to find the guy's name right now. It's fine. Mostly it was Talho. Talho was, like... Because the other guy would, like, stand up a little bit, and then Holland would keep going. He'd be like, well, I lose, and then leave. And Talho's like, you fucking bitch, stop running away.
How do you feel about meeting the engine mechanic who was there the entire show, but you don't see him until, like, episode 16? The guy
I got
who's,
used
like,
to that with a lot of
suit.
the crew. It's like, well,
He
I mean,
just
I think
lives
he
in
might
the-
have showed up in like the first episode, like where he joins the crew and everybody walks up to him and then disappears. And I was like, great. Gonna see you again later. So I want to talk about the first arc. The first arc being he joins the Gecko State, and then absolutely nothing happens forever.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Terrorists gotta have
so
downtime too.
I think that's...
You can't start with the downtime.
I think that was supposed to really drive in the fact that he didn't understand what was going on, because that, like, I think was an excuse to develop the characters in the typical 90s fashion, as you said, but I think it also, perhaps unintentionally on the part of the writers, was able to, like, explain away Renton's, like, misunderstanding about the war. And
Because they don't do
no
anything.
no one says war, like the word,
Yeah.
until much later on in the show.
Eureka uses it like the first episode and then never again.
Hmm.
Until she's forced to again.
Yeah, but like he doesn't even he doesn't listen to Eka.
No, he doesn't.
So my also problem with that is he sees her like you would expect Talho to be, right? Like he doesn't pay attention to anything she says. She's just this thing that he's constantly chasing. Honestly, it's a really bad romance.
Oh, it's the worst romance.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I was
It's
gonna get
how-
into that later.
It's kind of yeah. Yeah.
No. Let's just jump in right now.
She talks to him. She's like, "Oh, this and that and this and that," and then he's like just thinking around in his
Like,
head. He's
what
like,
if
"What am
I
I
was
gonna
making
eat for
out with
dinner?
her?
Man,
So-
she's pretty. What if I? Yeah, like."
Okay, so I remember a lot, like watching years ago, watching a lot of these series, and like you know that meme, you gotta protect that smile. Like
Yeah,
yeah.
he does
It,
that.
it's like I'm fairly certain that's where that meme came from. Like, all they see is like the fucking smile.
But like, she doesn't even do that often. It's just like she shows up in the first episode and he's like, "It's a girl who let me talk about mechanics. I'm gonna fucking bone down." And then that's it. That's his entire like. And like the show keeps being like, my whole motivation isn't just Eureka. I'm doing this for other reasons. And then it turns out his whole motivation is just Eureka. There were no other reasons, and it's just
Yeah. Like it's not a literal smile, but it's like they just see the one image that they see, and then they gotta protect it. That's about it.
yeah, so frustrating.
So I think the show, while it's centered on Renton, I don't like. Obviously, like they're not trying to make him a developed character, otherwise anime would have been solved and be popular in the West, right? Like if Japan did that in common, right? So I think what the purpose is to keep him bland and keep Ereka bland, although keep some mystery about her, right? Because all that's interesting about her is the mystery. Who is she? Why is she acting like this? Like, why is everyone freaking out about her, right? Yeah. And then everyone that's like interesting is not them. Because you get Matthew, who I love, and
Matthew's
actually
cool.
is probably my best girl, to be
I'll
honest.
give you
And
Matthew.
then his girlfriend, who is like wears the pants in a relationship,
Yeah,
and
fair.
like tells him what to do all the time. Holland's okay. Talho, I definitely agree, is a very good character. And then what's his name's best friend?
Holland's best friend.
Yeah, Holland's best friend. Still can't remember his name. But like I think
is that Kango?
No, that's the gunman. Gunner.
Doesn't matter.
Go with the hat. Yeah.
No, but like, you can't just coast by on side characters, especially with the screen time that they get never being important ever. It's like, here's a whole episode of Moondoggy doing a fun prank on Renton, but it's never like, here's an episode that explores Moondoggy and what's the girl's name? Ditchy?
Gidget.
Gidget, thank you. That explores anything to do with that.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well,
it's just like
so
they exist on the side.
I was listening to good characters because those two suck too.
Okay, fine. But like, the only characters that do matter are essentially Holland, Eureka, whatever, and Renton, and Talho. I'll give you Talho. Like, I love Talho, so I'll give it to her. But like,
oh, and
they suck.
Ereka spoil. Whatever.
Oh, Anemone.
Anemone.
Yeah. Okay,
she
sure.
has cool moments, but she's pretty much headache the girl.
I've seen the trope. God, that sums up this anime too well for me.
I've seen that trope.
I've seen that trope.
Are you sure this isn't like Seinfeld where it all comes down from here? No, it doesn't. It's been like this for years.
Yeah, I guess that's my biggest problem with Eureka 7 is that, like, every single thing I'm watching, I'm like, I've seen that trope. I've seen that trope. And I think it says something for how far animes come because, like, I don't get that feeling anymore, like, when I watch things for the most part. Or, like, when I see, like, I've seen that trope, I'm like, oh, but they're doing it differently and really well. Or, like, oh, they changed this about it. And this time around, it's just like...
Clearly don't scour the dumpsters of the seasons.
Yeah,
I don't scour the dumpsters of the seasons, to be fair. I only watch things that I think are going to be good to begin with, unless it's for the podcast, which probably helps, but...
and we've been shifting away from the bad stuff, too.
Who wants Fortune Arterial Season 2? Anyway.
But so... Though it does... So, yeah, there are a lot of tropes that it definitely falls into, but I think that it does do some unique things, even with, like... the Type 0, Nirvash, like, oh, I can talk to it, but, like, everybody can? Like, everyone can talk to machines?
No.
No?
I mean, with the compact drive, kinda. But, like, without the compact drive is the thing. And, like, I mean, technically everybody can, but, like, they don't get to talk, the machines don't talk back unless your name is Eureka. I think probably Anemone. Yeah, definitely Anemone. And, like, Renton sometimes. But other than that, I don't think the machines talk back.
Yeah. No. I guess that's a pretty derivative show.
Yeah, that said. Alright. Are we... Also, never give, like, never get the brat kids an entire episode to themselves, please, ever.
Oh my god. They were terrible.
They're always
That's
terrible.
the first 12 episodes. Yeah. So that's the first 12 episodes in a nutshell, basically. Disappointment. Now, I have spent this entire podcast thus far shitting on Eureka 7. Eureka 7. The next 14 got me interested. I will now spend the next time not shitting on Eureka 7. Ta-da! I actually really enjoyed the introduction of Dominique. And, like, his relationship with Anemone, which is roughly the end of the first 12 episodes, but still. I enjoyed that foil. I enjoyed is a strong word. I liked that Renton reacted to the shitty situation he was in and left because Holland is a shitlord.
I mean,
And the worst.
That was one of my favorite parts, honestly, in the show thus far, is him, like, getting, like, minor PTSD from seeing the guy's arm with the wedding band on it. Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, he realizes he's been killing people, which, again, how? But whatever.
Yeah. Like, there's blood when they, like, hit the robots and it, like, squirts out, and, like, Holland almost gets skewered at one point. Like, how do you not realize this?
It just never came up.
Never.
And he has, like, a whole episode, like, asking people, like, have we been killing people? And everyone's just like...
It's
what
war, man!
What do you think we've been doing?
At least he
So
has an
that was-
opinion on it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, though. At least, and then, like, Holland just, like, beats the hell out of him for nothing over and over, and then he, like, leaves, and I'm proud of him.
He's also that anime trope where he sucks at fighting, but he's got a constitution of gold. He's got he rolled that 19 constitution.
But that 9 in strength.
Yeah, so he's Naruto in a
Naruto
mecha.
can fight back.
He can't for the first entire series.
Touche. So
he gets one punch in every once in a while, and somehow it's strong enough to make people stop fighting him.
Cube. So that's not the name of the fox, is it? No, the fox's name is Cube, I think.
From Madoka, it is.
Oh, maybe that's not the name of the fox in Naruto then.
He has an actual name now. Thank you very much.
Alright, whatever. But, like, yeah, Renton does that thing where he'll just, like, take a beating day in and day out and, like, have a few scratches and then the next day be fine. But, like...
It's because of his fighting.
Should we talk about Holland?
Yeah, no, I actually wanted to real quick, if I could butt in. I liked the slow reveal. So, in that first 12 episodes, every, like, little glimpse of Holland and Talho's conversation, everything that they talk about actually develops more and more as it goes on. And so Holland's always reading this book that has this woman with a sword on the front. And I think it's like a prayer book or like a meditations book, something like that. And like it's got quotes in it. And he keeps talking about when they were in the army.
Yeah.
And then eventually you see their enemy was, I want to say, his like second in command when he was in the army. It was Renton's father's second in command.
Oh, right.
But they
Man.
worked under him.
Renton's father just got around. Was he part of the government? Was he part of the rebellion? I don't know. It seems both.
They haven't talked about it yet?
I think kind of, not really.
Not really, no.
Well, the government loves him, right? They teach about him in school.
Yeah, but the rebellion also quotes him a lot, so I just kind of sit there and like...
Maybe he was a nice dude. Maybe he was just a nice dude.
It might also be because I think, and like we don't know shit yet, Renton's sister was probably part of the rebellion at some point. I mean, she's definitely dead. I'm holding on to that one. But like, it might just be that she quoted her dad, and then everyone was like, yeah. But stop waggling your eyebrows and get back to your point about Holland.
No, just not anything specific other than just I like how the conversations build on top of each other until like later on you kind of get a picture of what the bad guy is actually doing, and why he's doing it, and a little bit of their past. You can see some of their chemistry, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Tahoe carries that chemistry, but yeah, there's chemistry.
No, between the bad guy and them.
Oh, fair. There's also, you can see the chemistry between Tahoe and Holland as Tahoe carries that relationship and Holland continues to run away from life. But hey, whatever.
That's also like kind of.
That's the characterization.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't even have to like him for it.
Nah.
Because it's frustrating. It's frustrating watching Holland like refuse flat out to like face reality for so long.
He's a soldier that wants to do the right thing, but doesn't want to do what it takes to do the right thing.
Yeah, he also wants to be the hero every time, forever, no matter what. And I think that's the biggest problem I had with him. It's like it almost feels like he's just been friend zoned by Eureka, and like that's his entire motivation. Where it's, I mean, like I know he wasn't trying to have a relationship with her.
No, I hate their relationship.
But like the whole time he's just like, but why didn't she choose me to be her partner? I'm the fucking best. It's me. I'm Holland. And it's just that the whole time for like 26 episodes.
They intentionally keep it gray, like you think that like he has like a broken heart and is like really pissed off about it, but
you also know
really,
like he's dating Tahoe, so it's like
it's really just that he kind of wanted her for her power.
Yeah, he entirely wanted her for her power.
He's just like a kid about it, which is kind of annoying. But Tahoe's like, "Hey, you're being a kid about it," and he's like, "No, I'm not.
I'm not a kid. I'm Holland. I'm so cool." It's a miracle that somehow that ship has been running as long as it has with him in charge.
I stole this ship. I run it.
God, I have no respect for Holland. And then at the end of the season too, where like,
but
everybody eavesdrops on, huh?
He's a strategist. Is why I think he's
sure. The only reason they didn't like all die is because like Eureka flew away, because otherwise they would have been ambushed, because everybody knows that all he'll do is run.
Strategist, not tactician. That's too small scale for him.
Bad. My bad. Grand strategy. There we go.
Yeah.
How are we gonna do it? Listen, that's not my job. But
it's like Kengo's the fighting master.
Sure. But like during the last episode where spoiler warning, Eureka and Renton confess their feelings to each other. Yeah, I agree. And like everybody's eavesdropping because of reasons. And then Holland just like laughs and is like, I'm okay with this now. And it's just, man, I would have liked, like, if you're gonna at least give him an entire season of just him being like the worst, I want him to actually come to terms with it. I don't want it to just be like, aha, okay.
So we've been talking a lot about like the characters, right? And characters are very important, but obviously it's not a character-driven show.
Pretty hard. I would disagree. I'd say this is entirely character-driven, but keep going.
I wanted to talk about more of the larger plot points. So, like going to the cave and Eureka disappearing, and the drug trip that they take 3 times in the show.
The zone.
Dude, they go hard. And I will admit, it creeped me out the first time Renton went in the zone, because it was like nighttime, and like he starts dreaming and he has the nightmare and he's like seeing himself playing with dolls of himself and everyone's faces are messed up, and then like he's running around and
it's definitely like really creepy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Whatever the hell a Coraline is, or a Corellian.
Corellian, yeah.
You just fly into a Corellian and then like you get high on acid or whatever. Except you're all like linked together.
Yeah, you all share the same dream.
Yeah, that's fun.
Also, and then when they were in the cave. That was another time when they started tripping out, but there was no Corellian there. What do you think about that? What do you think?
I mean, but the
They're
cave
just-
was where like a bunch of, I'm just gonna call them Evas, and I know I shouldn't, KFOs. It's like where KFOs were like being born slash grown slash dying.
LFO.
So like, no, the big ones, the ones that matter. LFOs are the robots. I'm talking about the mechs that are basically, like the ones that are the same as the Nervash. Am I
There's
crazy?
a difference?
I think.
I thought the whole difference was if it was the generic term, which was the LFO, and the KLF, which was
KLF, that's the one.
owned by the government. That's what I thought it was.
I'm not quite sure.
TVH, I don't know now. I assume-
TVHIDK.
No, because, like, I thought that, like, special, super, ultra magic ones with their own personalities and, like, being alive were KLFs, and then, like, your run-of-the-mill, like, I'm in a mech suit was an LFO. I thought the only KLFs were, the Nirvash, the End, and those ones in the cave, which were, like, being born slash growing.
They talk about KLF squadrons, though, in the government ships.
Well, I guess they do.
Yeah.
But they also, like, it feels like they made the LFOs, but they made contact with the KLFs. Man, I hope that clears up during season 2.
I know what they are, I just don't know what the acronyms stand for. And if there's
Yeah.
really difference between those two. I was like,
No,
I'm
I
saying
don't know if
I
there's
know what the
difference.
robots are as a
Yeah,
whole.
yeah, but I don't know if there's a difference between them.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, not the point. The point being, like, I thought it's definitely, like, the zone and the Corellian effect are, like, definitely linked to the insert robot acronym here that were being, like, born, grown, dying in the cave. So, like... Also, she becomes a rock.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that specifically.
Character didn't change much.
Edeka is absorbed into the wall,
Yeah.
and they have to cut her out somehow. I don't really remember how that
Kind
works.
of, like, melts around her. Renton happened. It's fine.
Renton did some dream thing.
Yeah.
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 I thought it was cool, and she's like disfigured now.
Which was, I thought that was pretty ballsy. I was actually really into the idea of her, like, not looking the same anymore.
Yeah, she's really messed up now.
Yeah.
She's got like growths all over her body. She's probably got cancer upon cancer.
She didn't look that bad.
I mean, like, I think it's like all over her side and
Eh,
forehead.
eh,
I mean, her forehead's not too bad, but
yeah. I
her
don't
side
know,
of her, one of her arms is like messed up too.
yeah, but, like, she didn't look that bad.
I mean, she's wearing clothes all the time.
Yeah, fair
Long
enough.
sleeves.
Fair enough.
Still gotta
But, like,
protect
yeah.
that smile.
Thank you. I don't know. It just... I did think that was a pretty cool move of them to be like, and here's a bad thing that happened. So that was nice.
In the next season of the show, they do a lot of character redesigns,
Interesting.
which I'm still lukewarm on all of the redesigns. I don't know
Okay.
You mean
if I like any of.
Do you mean or like the second half of the 50 episodes?
The second half of the 50 episodes, like Tahoe changes.
Are we talking like One Piece time skip drastic, or...
No, it's like
Okay.
not even a time skip. Like they just over time
Are we
start.
talking like American
looking
Dragon
different.
Jake Long season 2?
No. They just like change their hair and their outfits. Holland,
Okay.
Tahoe. I want to say Renton does, and I think Moondoggy.
Does Renton get that
Great.
weird white spot in his hair that we saw in Google Images?
I don't even remember that. Okay, so
Yeah,
that we saw a picture from on Google Images that I know is from the second series. I've not watched the second series. I've only heard bad things from the second series. Probably because Renton looks like he's from Yu-Gi-Oh! He looks awful. No.
I want them to play card games on mechs. Yu-Gi-Oh! 9.
That's the next.
threes.
That's the next thing. They
Oh
play
yeah, card games on
card
mechs.
games on a boat. They played card games on an island. They played
Motorcycles?
card games on a different island.
They
play
play
card
card games on motorcycles.
On motorcycles. They played card games on their arms. Like,
Mechs are next.
what? Yeah, I guess
Let me
so.
know. Card
On their
games on
noses.
Geass. Alright, but I'm gonna talk about it right here and right now. Is it possible to like make a mech without just having children be like feeling ignored and unloved for? Is it a possible thing?
Code Geass.
Code Geass, I was about to say.
God. Okay, good. I'm back on board.
or
Got
or the Big O.
Okay, so it's really just Evangelion in this.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, cause like, was it necessary?
Well, there was also Gundam.
It depends which Gundam.
I
But
have not
Oh,
seen
still
any
Gundam.
Gundam, so I don't know.
I've only seen like one Gundam. So, I imagine they're very different experiences, though.
But they're all about teenagers' feelings.
Oh man, I
Yeah,
didn't know
pretty
that.
much. That's what I've heard.
I thought most of them were about cool guys and Gundams doing cool things.
Iron
I've never
Blooded
been more bummed
Orphans.
before ever. I've never been more bummed before ever. Okay, so, but just the fact that like, I get that it was important to the character development and the story that they're going for, and I was proud of Renton for like running away from that crappy situation. But did it ever feel like the situation was crappy just so we could have him feel like he wasn't being loved and have a misunderstanding with Eureka, which he also wasn't feeling loved, and both of them just felt bad because everybody in the world was just conspiring to make their lives sad for no reason? Did it feel like they were forcing a Shinji out of this? Like, a Shinji and Asuka both feel like unloved and sad and unmotivated thing?
I mean, I think that they all got a lot of support and like stuff from the group, except for Holland. Holland was the only one that really neglected
The rest
them,
of the
I
group
think.
didn't support Renton because Holland wouldn't let them. And none of them
I guess
had
it
this
was-
fight with themselves.
I guess they did mostly talk about him behind his back. Like,
Literally entirely.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that was the whole point, where, like, anytime he would try to find, like, support, they'd be like, no support, everything's your fault, fuck you. Holland told us to say that, sorry. And then they'd just, like, walk away. And it was like, well, I just, like, man, there are other ways to write them, is all I'm saying.
Mhm.
Other ways to like write conflict other than like the world has conspired against you to make you sad in the situation that it really doesn't call for.
But then how would they appeal to the young audience?
Yeah, they're trying to get that angst spot.
Why am I so old? I'm getting too old for this shit.
No, me too, man.
Getting too old for this shit.
No, I've been saying that for the past like year watching anime. I like
Not all
anime
anime.
still. Yeah, no, like there's still good anime. Jawan, you just started showing me My Hero Academia. That's good. That's good
Yeah,
stuff.
that shit holds
Good
up. Yeah, it's
stuff.
so funny.
But then, I mean, like it's just bad writing. That's all it is. Unfortunately, a lot of stuff in general, just movies, American shows,
Yeah.
anime, it's all plagued by bad writing. You
I
watch
feel
CSI
it's-
Miami? Is that good? No. You watch.
It's really hard to break out of the shell because like
Yeah.
what worked before is what they're trying to go for because they want to make money. They don't want to close down shop and be like, well, it's done now.
Yeah, money's important. I get that. It's just like, I get the feeling if I had watched this as like 14-year-old, like tuning into Toonami, I'd be like, hell yeah, Eureka 7. Hell yeah. And now I'm like, man, Yeah, it's a thoroughly meh experience. That said, I do want to know more about the secrets of like Eureka's existence. I don't care about her, but like everything surrounding her is super interesting. I want to know more about the Nirvash. I want to know about like what the hell Gecko States. I'm still not even sure what the government is. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't know what they do.
I like that. Um, the I think it does a good job building the mystery, and it's
Yeah.
definitely a slow reveal throughout the whole show. You don't. I would say there is one episode in particular where you really get it, and that's when they go to the library, which is vague enough that you won't really get
Fair
that.
enough.
And I think that's like where you understand most of it, and then the episode after that, I think, is when it like closes everything. But it's a fun ride. I know what a lot of what we've been saying sounds pretty negative, but it has a lot of negative parts to it, but I think it's still a net good.
I think
In
it's
my
enjoyable
opinion.
enough. I think the first 12 episodes were almost unwatchable for me and like really turned me off. So the show has spent some time earning you back. But I think
I
like
think it'll just get better.
in
Like,
isolation, yeah, it does just get better. And like in isolation, the second half is honestly a fine show.
yeah. Well, second quarter.
I guess second quarter, you're right. Second half of the first half. Second quarter is like if the first half hadn't like already made me just like really grumpy, then I would have probably been like a lot more fine with it.
But you don't like health crazes and like fruit.
Oh yeah, let's spend an episode on like the health craze in a fruit.
Or chasing. Oh, okay. No, I kind of liked the prank on Renton though. That was pretty funny.
We did not need an episode.
No, it didn't. But it was still kind of funny.
Great, give it a 5 minute skit and move on, please.
Yeah.
Oh, we got
Yeah,
you.
they
not
really could have
like-
just been like, look at him. He's got to find some dude and make fun of him, and then he's gonna get his ass handed to him.
And then it's just like 20
Like,
minutes later.
just hit the
it's-
punchline and
yep.
move on.
No, we gotta keep setting up. This is gonna be amazing when it happens. Don't even worry about it.
Oh yeah, that was one of the weirder lines that they didn't translate well when he yells at the big man, and it's like supposed to be insulting, and he like what he says is like barely English.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make sense.
Like, you
in
gotta eat a bunch
context.
to be that big. It's like, what?
And like the guy takes offense to it, and
I think he was calling him fat, but like, I'm not sure. But,
I think it's supposed to be like a how's the weather up there sort of thing, where you kind of roll your eyes. You're like, ah ha ha, man. But
yeah, either way, it was like, whatever.
yeah,
But, I mean, that's once they get their groove, the groove stays, though. As much as I can just go through episode by episode through the first 12 and just be like, why? Like, once the show gets its groove, it keeps its groove, and it's like an enjoyable, maybe like geared a little bit younger than I am now, but still an enjoyable experience, especially if you liked Evangelion, you'll love what like keeps coming. But like,
yeah. I think Evangelion's meant for a bit of an older audience than this is meant for.
yeah,
Um,
this is like, I guess, a little bit of younger Evangelion.
yeah, this is like the initial like what you would think Evangelion's supposed to be aimed at until you watch it. I think this is that audience. So it's like late middle school, early high school sort of thing.
All right, so let's get into individual final thoughts and ratings. I'm gonna go first because we've been there. We've been there. I've taken over this with my negativity and my salt, and I apologize for all. I think that if you can make it past the first 12, it's worth continuing. I think it's actually definitely worth considering. That said, where we've left off right now, I cannot give it a recommendation as of right this moment. If season 2 changes my mind, you guys will find out when we do that. But right now, at this moment, go watch something else. You'll probably have a better time.
I would recommend it only because so the part where it ends, I don't know how I feel about it ending here as the halfway point, because in like 3 episodes it probably hits my peak where I'm like, wow, that was sweet, that was awesome, and I can't believe they did any of that. and then it kind of goes back to the normal, your regularly scheduled programming, which I think is okay. But it's really just this arc that we're in the middle of right now. That's my favorite of the show. So if you like what's going on the past 5 episodes, it gets really good. But I mean, if you're just like watching us talk about this and haven't seen it, I don't know what to tell you. It's especially with what we've been saying now. It's a hard sell now.
The first,
it's
a hard intro. It's a really hard intro.
I'd still recommend it though.
I'd say I'd recommend it with some good faith. Like, I expect it to get even better. Like, the plot's starting to roll, stuff's happening. Like, I can't say too much more.
We're actually using our mix.
Yeah.
To talk briefly about what's ahead, though, I like the next opening to it because it.
Oh god.
Whoa.
Oh god.
Help.
Oh.
What happened? What did you do?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you, but
Your sound quality changed and your picture died. What happened?
My camera came unplugged.
How did your sound quality change? Alright, whatever.
Because it's connected to my camera.
Oh, I see.
Alright, well, anyway.
Can't you plug it back in?
I'm trying, I did!
Oh god.
Did this
well, in the meantime, Twitch audience, I don't know if there actually is one or not. I'm sorry if we cut out at some point. Apparently, I just disconnected to my Wi-Fi.
Oh.
Wait, I don't know how.
You've been on Skype the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know how, because Skype has worked the entire time.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Right, so are we just gonna accept Thomas's camera as kill?
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, wait.
Oh.
Hey, there it is.
Back.
Okay.
Oh, it's frozen. Oh, no, it's good again.
And with the magic of editing, none of this ever happened.
Well, I was saying something now. I don't know how important it
Opening
was.
of the next show.
Oh, yeah. So I like it because it takes that moment where Renton like jumps out of the Miravash to catch Eureka, which is a very cool moment. I think in the show it's very well done, and they just drag it out and kind of like give it more attention, and they play a pretty decent song with it. It's not as good as the second opening, but it's better than the first.
There. That said,
Flo does really good openings for mech shows.
Yep. So, on that note, are we ready to talk about the next show we're going to be covering, which is a mech show with a really good opening?
Yeah, what is it?
Well, it's Cruel Angel's Thesis, a music video.
Oh, well, we've been talking about this all the time.
Oh, man,
Nothing changes.
I love those movies.
We're not watching those movies. You wish we were watching those movies. I wish we were watching those movies.
Was it the music or the lyrics for that were written in an hour?
I think the entire thing was done in roughly 3.
Dang.
The entire song was done in like 3 hours, and she's still getting royalties forever.
Best 3 hours of my life.
Yeah, for real. Because she thought she was like writing garbage, so she didn't care and just like turned it in.
It's catchy as hell.
What a hero. Yep. So it's Neon Genesis Evangelion, the original TV show anime.
Oh boy, who's excited for episode 10?
Oh god, kill me. Fat seats for everyone.
Yeah.
Alright, so.
That's the lava one.
Yeah, it is. So, fun fact. Thomas, me, and like a bunch of our friends from like...
Yeah, it was like probably like
our hometown. Yeah. Like, sat down last summer, 2 summers ago, and just everything Evangelion. The original run.
Close the blinds.
The original run, the movies, the other movies, end of Evangelion, everything. And let me tell you, That's not a pleasant experience. So,
But it really makes me appreciate the new movies. Let me tell you. I know a lot. I know a lot of people like they're the diehard fans for the show, and I can respect that. I really can, because that was his initial vision for it up until the last 2 episodes where they lost funding and they were cut out. And then they made the end of Evangelion, which was like what he wanted, right? That was it. And then now I can see it as being like this cash cow. But I like the movies a whole lot better than the show.
I also is a lot better than the show. That said, it should be noted that Evangelion did have a huge impact on the genre of anime, and like of anime as a whole, but also like on mechs. For the next 2 shows, like honestly, it's gonna have an effect on like other things we cover. Honestly,
I mean, it's had an effect on what we've already covered.
7. Yeah. It has had an effect on things we've already covered, Lane especially, for real, juice. But like, it's the reason we're doing the show is because the effect it had on like everything cannot be understated. It did matter. It was important, and I'm still not looking forward to watching it. You guys should watch it and judge for yourselves. This is one of those things where like really you just earn internet cred if you do. And you can tell us that we're wrong and that the show is actually beautiful, wonderful, and incredible art. Next time.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right, but the movies are so much better, man. I don't know what to tell you. I like anime enough, but this is...
I wonder if they are better if you watch them first.
The movies first?
Yeah. Like, if you don't have the
I don't think you can watch this show if you watch the movies. I watched the show because I hadn't seen the movies.
Yeah.
But
watching the show after watching the movies sounds... It feels like one of those, like... I watched Brotherhood and now I have to watch Full Metal Alchemist, and it's like, man, I could have watched these in the reverse order and really enjoyed the first series. But now it's a lot harder.
Dude, JD's gotta watch Brotherhood.
One day. So, yeah, Neon Genesis Evangelion is coming out, and spoiler warning for the intro at the very least, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 for music design. Just for the opening.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
And then Fly Me, they do a cover of Fly Me to the Moon, which is okay. But, I mean, you can't beat Frank Sinatra, so...
Alright, so do we have anything on the docket, since we're kind of coming back from the dead?
I'll try to be on Twitter
What are you talking
more,
about?
I don't know.
Yeah, Allan's going to try to be on Twitter more. Thomas made a Twitter.
Yeah, oh yeah, I made a Twitter. I'm at WeTaku Tom.
Woo.
I have 1 follower and I'm following 15 people. This is how you work it, right? This is how you do Twitter.
Proud of you, you're doing it.
I'll give you a follow, like, right now.
I'll do it eventually. My Twitter is essentially dead, and I'm really lazy and bad at social media, so I will make no promises like Allan did. These guys got our social front. Don't even worry about it.
Your brother's the only one that's following me.
What a hero. Thanks, bud. The only time I ever log in on Twitter these days is when my brother sends me a link on Twitter. So, other than that, WeTaku Gaming is planning to have a fun little surprise for y'all if we ever can get into the same room and record, which seems to be harder than you'd think, even though they live like 10 minutes down the road from me. So that'll be coming up. I kind of want to spoil it, but like, just get ready for a lot of edge. It's going to be the edgiest game this world's ever seen.
Darksiders?
Edgier. I'll tell you after the stream ends. Don't worry.
Grim Fandango.
It's edgier.
Devil May Cry?
Edgier.
Was Grim Fandango really that edgy?
No,
it's really
edgy.
not.
It's a comedy.
It's like a party.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's coming up. You might get more EDF 4.1, the new Shadow of Earth returning.
Steven never has time. I don't think that's
Is
gonna
that
happen.
new? They made a new EDF? Okay.
It's not that new. We've been recording it for like a year, actually.
No, but how old's this game?
Like a year.
So they're still making new EDF?
Yes.
I thought they stopped making it back in PlayStation 2.
Oh, no, it's still going strong. This is a PS4 game. All right, Steven's super busy right now, so we might not have more EDF. We'll figure out what's coming up. Ori's getting a sequel, so look forward to that. We are.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think that is it. Do y'all have any departing statements?
If you want me more active on Twitter, talk to me. I'd be glad to talk about the season, the new season, whatever I watch, stuff like that. I'm sorry I haven't been talking. I have a cough, which I've been trying to like cover up on the podcast by muting myself, but I think I just gave up at some point.
I didn't hear a single cough. You rocked it.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
There was one right there.
That's you, Thomas.
No, he just coughed. No, he really did.
Yeah, I did.
Maybe I'm just deaf. It's fine. How about you, Tom? Any final statements, things for the people? These wonderful, wonderful viewers who are sticking with us even though we disappear sometimes.
Wonderful, wonderful viewers. 3? You got 3?
I don't know. I meant the YouTube
use plural, so I assume that
the YouTube
it's
viewers.
more than one.
I generally refer to the YouTube ones.
Wanted to lowball it. I don't believe that we have 5. 5 would be amazing. So I did 3.
I'm not currently
Tell your friends about us.
So.
I feel like I would be more into it if like we had a follow.
Which we did at one point and then stopped uploading.
Yeah,
and then stopped and then started and then stopped. This is kind of on us. We're not blaming you guys.
Yeah, no.
But we're back, so love us.
This is totally Jovan's fault. So
Totally.
Yeah. You know, I just felt like a little off today. I don't know why. Like I had tea and coffee earlier, so I don't know why.
Oh wait, are we all just apologizing now? Is that what we're doing?
I'm not apologizing. I'm explaining my lack of enthusiasm most of the show.
Well, you know what? I'm doing great. Except for a headache, which I also have. So, on that note, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks' time.
On WeTaku.
Yeah, this is WeTaku as we complain about anime. Alright, we're about to rebrand. I like that. Not the point. That's gonna be a show that I upload at some point of just like me shit-talking something for like an hour. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Neon Genesis Evangelion. Be there, be square.
You'll be square anyway.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.